Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas. Thanks for joining me. I've had a little drama here in that I have been trying to connect my eCam with my Facebook page for the last 5-10 minutes, and it just isn't cooperating. So I'm going to have to go back to my old way of doing things, which wasn't terrible, but not as easy as using eCam. But we're going to make it work for today. So I'll figure it out for tomorrow. It just makes going from the hands to the face just a little smoother and less bulky and, jiggly and all of that. But we're going to make it work for today. That's what we do. We pivot when we face issues, right? So thanks for joining me here today. I'm excited to start day one of my bundle series for the week. And this week I'm using a suite. I'm using the Ness of Winter suite that is in the holiday catalog. So let me move my camera down here. Let me see if I can make this work. There we go. Old way, you have to see me upside down for just a moment, and then I'm going to get everything straightened out here. So last week when my grandkids were living with me for the week and everything else, I was trying to clean off my keyboard because sticky fingers had been on it. And when I was cleaning it, my computer shut me down because it thought I was trying to put in some fake passwords or something. And it has messed up every program on my computer. Every single one has had to be reset, reprogrammed. It's been a real pain, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to see if I can get a little closer here to my board. There we go. So, thank you. Thank you for your patience with me. Today, we are using this beautiful Ness of Winter suite that is in the holiday catalog. I haven't done anything with this yet. And I just thought this was the perfect time because a lot of these sentiments are not, that come in this set are not Christmas sentiments. Although the paper and the birds and everything make it look very holiday-ish, but I hope you're going to love the cards I'm making today. I'll be doing 3 cards today, one of which is a fun fold. I will be doing another fancy fun fold tomorrow, and then a 3D gifty project on Wednesday. Okay, so keep coming back every day, and then at the end of the 3rd day, if you love everything and you want to get a kit in the mail to go, any $40 order in my online store will get you the kit to go. If you spend $60, I'll throw in a package of embellishments, and if you spend $100, I'll add some DSP as well. Not a full package, a half a package of DSP, okay? So let me know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and get started on our cards. I think you're going to love them. I hope you do. Say hi to me when you come on. It doesn't look like anybody's here right now, but if you are, let me know. I would love to see and know that you're here with me. This is our first card today. Thinking of you always. I love the combination of the paper with this twine and thinking of you always. And this one opens this way, sideways. What I did is I took a piece of paper that is 4 1/4 by 11 and scored it down the middle at 5 1/2. I'm going to grab my bone folder. Gosh, I'm in a tizzy because everything hasn't gone right today. So, okay, so there we go. This is pecan pie. And on top of that, hi Laura, glad you're here. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for letting me know you're here as well. Now I cut a piece of that beautiful Ness of winter designer series paper. What I love about these papers is that the back sides are all just really nice prints. The front sides have these birds on them. And I'm going to adhere this to the top of my pecan pie card base right here. Had a great weekend. We had bingo night on Saturday night, which was tons of fun. I love bingo night. I love when my customers come and we get to play games and we get to see each other face to face, because so often I only know you through Facebook. So sometimes it's nice to see your face and get to chat with you in person. That's always fun. I'm going to put this piece of designer basic white, cut 4 by 5 1/4. And you guys, this might be, I might be a little frazzled. Sorry. It's always frustrating when you've done something the same way all the time, and then all of a sudden Facebook or eCam or whatever it is starts doing weird things. Okay, so then I've cut another piece of that. Hi, Becky. Thanks for coming. Are you stormy up there? Hello, another Oregon person. I love my Oregon and Washington people. I'm so glad you guys are joining me. I've cut another piece of this designer series paper. Isn't that so pretty? And we're going to just adhere it right here on the left side of that inside panel. Okay, so this is cut 1 inch by 4 1/4. Just going to add that right there, and if I need to cut some off, I can. Let me see. Maybe the tiniest little sliver here. Okay, so then I have a white panel that I cut with the second largest of the postage stamp dies, and then I embossed it with that snow, falling snow embossing folder, okay? Before I put this on my card, I'm gonna grab the twine that comes in that suite, that Nests of Winter suite, and this one is that copper clay color. And what I did on this is that I am going to wrap it around. Let me see, what did I do? I didn't really care too much if it was between the holes or just, you know, kind of haphazardly here, kind of like that. And then I'm going to pull it as tight as I can, and there we go. Grab a piece of tear-in tape and hold this down on the back with a piece of tear-in tape, right like that, okay? All right, so there's that twine. It's just kind of, you know, not super straight. I kind of want it to look a little messy, a little rustic. And then I'm going to grab about 8 inches, twice of that copper clay twine. Hi, Chelsea. Thanks for joining me. We're working on the Nests of Winter suite today. And this is that copper clay twine, and that is not what I did. I don't know what I'm doing. That's a habit. Okay, I'm going to put it underneath here and just tie a bow on the front side like that. I'm a little frazzled today, Chelsea, because my eCam would not connect to my Facebook, and I know that it's because I had a password problem on my computer. I had to reset my Apple ID, and now all of my programs on my computer are all messed up. So somehow I'm going to have to reconnect my eCam to my Facebook so it'll stream directly there. Okay, so I'm putting dimensionals. You can see quite a few on the back side of this panel. I use the whole thickness, and this twine Becky, that's in the Nest of Winter Sweet is more like linen thread. It's a very thin twine. I know in the past we've had a thicker twine that oftentimes I would split, but you don't need to split it on this. This twine is already kind of thinner like linen thread. In fact, it might even be linen thread that's just been dyed. Okay, so then I'm going to put that right there on the front of my card with dimensionals, okay? Now, I'm going to grab another piece of white here, and I'm going to stamp my birds. This set of birds has 2 birds on it, and I'm going to use my Memento Black ink pad. And I'm going to stamp it right about there. Okay, and then I have my sentiment, which is thinking of you always. And I'm going to grab my cherry cobbler ink and stamp that. I do too, Becky. I like the rustic effect too. I think it always makes for beautiful cards. Okay, there we go, thinking of you. Now, of course, I just put my hand in that ink pad. So, I'm going to do what all crafters do and just wipe it on my pants here. Thank you, Chelsea, you're the best. All right, so I'm going to grab some of my blends here. And I wanted this, obviously, to look like a grab a different. So this is what happens to your, I don't know if you guys can see that, your blends, once they've been used a lot, they start getting frayed, this brushing, and I use my blends a lot. I use them for classes. They start getting frayed like this, and then they're kind of hard to color with. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I'm just going to toss this one away because I have another set up behind me here that I think is going to work better. Okay, so for each of these berries, I colored them in light cherry cobbler. So once those tips start getting frayed and hard to work with, I just toss them, pull out a new set. It's not worth the frustration of trying to keep it in the lines when that tip is frayed like that. Is not worth it. Okay, so all those berries are going to be light. And then I colored my cardinal here. And whole thing in light first. This is the male cardinal. Because, you know, in birdland, the males are the more brightly colored. I'm going to keep a little bit of white around his little face right there. And then I'm going to come in with my dark and just add some shading on his wings and the tip here. You know, Stampin' Up! Does a good idea of kind of helping us out with where to add the shading. And then at the top of each of these berries, I'm going to add a little dark cranberry just to give it some dimension. So did you guys stock up on some blends last week while they were on sale? I almost never see them put blends on sale, so I was kind of surprised by that. And then over here on this, on my female wing, I'm just adding some little color to the wings because I noticed in the designer series paper, there was a little cherry cobbler in the wing of the female. And there was also a little bit of copper clay as well. So this is pecan pie. I'm going to add the branch here. Thought about coloring this ahead of time because I don't know, do you guys get bored watching people color? But I thought the process of showing you how I did this was worth it for me to you know, come on and show you exactly how I did that. So I'm going to add a little bit of pecan right in there. Now I'm going to grab my light gray granite. I'm going to add just a little bit right here on my, I think I need to use the darker one actually, on my cardinal, my male cardinal. They kind of have like a dark face on them. My crumb cake is going to go all over this baby here, this female. I'm going to kind of blend over those wings, kind of blend those colors in. Add a little dark. Aren't these pretty? I think they're very pretty. And then, how about some copper clay for... Hi, Jan. You're so sweet. Thank you so much for coming to bingo. Jan was one of our big... she was the biggest winner, actually, weren't you, Jan? Of the bingo. She won the top prize of a $75 gift certificate. So, lucky her. All right. So, now I'm grabbing two different dies. We have a die in this set that will perfectly cut out both of these birds at the same time. And I'm going to use a little Post-it note tape to kind of hold that in place. And then I'm using this die from the Unbounded Beauty dies. These are in the regular catalog. And I'm going to put this small label right around the words right there. So have any of you played with these birds? I got these when we had our Creativity Now event for demonstrators back in, gosh, I don't know, June, July, something like that. And I'm embarrassed to say I've used the paper quite a bit, but I haven't really used the stamp set and dies very much. So they're too pretty not to use, right? So here we go. There's my birds cut out with the dies and my label. So all I need to do here is, let me put these away before I lose all the pieces, put these on my card. And so I'm going to use dimensionals. How pretty is that? Isn't that pretty? Okay, use dimensionals behind my birds here. Pop those up. Okay. And they're going to go right here, kind of like they're coming off of that designer series paper right there. Okay. And then my label is going to go right over top of it right here, but a little more straight. Okay. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals in the center. There we go. So pretty, right? Do you love that? I love it. And I'm going to throw on some of these gold textured adhesive back dots. I'm going to put one here, the large one, the smallest, kind of catty corner in next to it, and the medium size right up here at the top. And that is card number 1. Thank you, Jeanne. Thank you, Chelsea. Chelsea's my right-hand gal on my Facebook Lives. I love having her. Okay, so this is card number 1. I hope you guys love it. And I kind of like that it opens sideways like this. So I hope you guys like that one. I'm going to put all these pieces aside. These online classes to go have really taken off lately, and I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate your business. This is my full-time job, and it is what is sustaining my husband and I right now in retirement. So I appreciate you being here for sure. Okay, second card is we're using a card base that is great granite. Let me get all my pieces here. Hi, Mary. I'm glad you're here. I thought you might be at work today. Okay, so this is a piece of great granite, cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4, and I'm going to just use my bone folder and get a really good crease on that. I think I'm going to go ahead and start on the inside of my card. And I cut a piece of this DSP that is that birch tree kind of look, right? And that comes right out of that Designer Series paper pack. And I am, let me remind myself, did I even show you guys this card yet? Well, I pulled it out. Oh, here it is, right here. This is the next card we're making. Sheesh. Okay, so the first one, yeah, Mary. I'll show you them all at the end. This is the next card we're making right here. Okay, so pretty. Okay, so on the inside, I put this Designer Series paper, this birchwood looking one, kind of right here at the bottom. Right like that, and I've purposely cut this a little bit long, so I'm going to shave the extra off. Better too long than too short is always my mantra, you guys know. And then I have a piece of basic white that is a little smaller than I normally use. I think it's 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm just going to adhere that right to the inside here. There we go. So that inside's just a little bit different, a little bit more interesting. Okay, and then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of that great granite that I have already run through with the birch tree embossing folder. So that is going to go right here. I'm going to put it on my card base here. I don't like using the seal on my embossed piece because sometimes it tears it because the fibers have been softened up by putting it in the embossing folder, and sometimes it tears it up. And you don't want to push out the embossing either because that's what makes it. So I've added that embossing folder right there. Okay, then I have a piece of basic white that I have cut out using this awesome frame that they give us in this die set right here. Isn't that so pretty? So I'm just a basic white, and I'm going to add some liquid glue around the edges here. So I'm going to put it around the edges of my frame. Hang on to me to the end because the last card is a fun fold that I just love, and I think you're going to love it too. You can always come back and watch me later if you need to. But it's worth it to stay and see the very end. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put this frame flat with liquid glue. I just put a few drops. Now, it would have been smart, I think, if I'd have thought about it, to use those sticker sheets on the back of this. Probably would have made it a lot easier to adhere. But there we go. That wasn't bad, right? All right, so I'm going to put my glue tip back on. Now, what I did is I took my Wink of Stella. Hi, Jean. Thanks for joining me. Taking my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to flick on some shimmer. I want it to look very icy and snowy. Let's see if it's going to cooperate with me. I may need to grab another one. Yeah, it is. It's just taking a second here. There we go. You can see it's flicking on the shimmer. I love to do this on cards when I want it to look snowy or icy. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to do some stamping on a piece of basic white, just a panel of basic white, and I'm stamping two things. I am stamping the bow that comes in. That was a close call right there. Sheesh. Okay, stamping the bow. There we go. And then I'm stamping the single bird with the berries in its mouth. There we go. Let me put this ink pad away. Yeah, Jean, come back. Catch the replay because it is some fun cards today. Okay, so I'm grabbing my pool party. And again, you guys, this designer series paper really helps you decide what colors to use. I'm going to start with my light, and I'm going to go around my bird's head here, kind of down the edge, catching that wing right there. And then I'm going to do the back side here, little bluebird. Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit of dark, just to give it a little texture in there. There we go. And then I grabbed my light copper clay, and I just added a little bit of brown right in here. And did his beak as well. Okay, and maybe a tiny little bit of dark right underneath the wing right there. And then I tried to soften it up a little bit using my color lifter, and I just take it, kind of roll it around over top of the color that you kind of want to soften up a little bit, and that's what a color lifter helps do. And it takes a second. It's almost like it bleaches it out or something, okay? And then I've got my dark berries. Oh, wait, do I want to start with dark? I think I'm going to start with light. My light. Dark, dark. Here's my light over here. And I'm going to do the berries that are with the bird. And then I'm also going to go down here and grab the berries that are on my bow down here. Here we go. Add a little bit of the dark cherry cobbler inside each of the berries, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, I'm going to use my pecan pie for the branch. That was the dark. I'm going to come in and go over it a little bit with my light. Soften it up a little bit. There we go. And now, all I have to do is my leaves on my bow. And for the leaves, I used light and dark Old Olive ink blends here. So I'm just coloring all in with the light. My poor puppy is outside, and she is having a fit. I hope you guys can't hear her. You're going to call me into the authorities. You would think she was dying out there. She just does not like to be alone, but when she's with me, she's not quiet when I'm trying to do my life. So she'll get used to the system, I think. She was traumatized last week because we, like I said, we had the grandkids living with us. They bought a new house and it was getting repainted inside. So the Grands and my daughter and her husband and their dog and their cat all lived with us last week for a week, and it was quite the adventure. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of the dark old olive and just kind of add some texture. You know, blending takes a little time, but the results are so worth it in the end. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you. I value your watches as well. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm just going to take my dies, and I have the single bird die, and I also have the bow die. Single bird. It's a piece of Post-it note. And the bow. I'm going to run it off over here. So this week we're traveling to Lincoln, Nebraska. If you guys don't know, I moved here from Lincoln about 1.5 years ago. And we're just going back to see friends and get a quick visit. My husband wants to go to a Nebraska game. So we're going to drive up there Wednesday afternoon. So I will be here Wednesday for the Facebook Live. And then we'll be coming back on Monday. So my craft along next week, which is the jumbo tags, will not be until Tuesday. Okay? So I won't be here on Monday. I'll only be here on Tuesday of next week. And then my son and his wife will be coming in. Okay, I'm going to get my head in the camera a little bit here because I don't want to do this cockeyed. There we go. Sending thanks and much love. So we're almost done. We're going to take this bow and I'm going to pop it up right over here on this side. I'm going to use some dimensionals behind it. So fun times coming ahead here. I think I love Thanksgiving more than Christmas. People think I'm crazy when I say that. And it's not that I don't love buying gifts for people, because gift giving is my love language for sure. It's just so stressful and busy, I think. And I just feel like busyness sucks the joy out of me. I love Thanksgiving. I love that we're focused on gratefulness and caring for others. Okay, I'm going to put my bird right there. How pretty is that? And then this is going to slide under here, but you know what? I should have done that maybe before. So I'm going to slide that under my bird right there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here to just hold that down like that. Okay, so pretty, isn't it? And now all I'm going to do is I'm using my basic rhinestones on this one. I kind of like the idea of it looking a little icy with that sprinkle of Weekastella behind there. So I'm going to put one right here, and I'm going to put a couple of smaller ones right down here in this corner right here. There we go. That is card number 2. Do you guys love that? And so here's the inside. Here's the outside. That is card number 2. Okay, so one more card to go. And this is a fun fold that I think you guys are going to love. I watched some videos this week of some fun folds that I could share with y'all. And I found this one and I just really loved it. And I thought it would be something you guys would love. Okay, so here is the last card. And the fun thing about this one, and what I love about the Designer Series paper, is that you can actually cut the birds right out of the designer series paper. It's so fun and saves you time because you don't have to blend all that, right? And so this one opens like a gatefold. It's gonna open this way and then this way, and then you would just write your little note right in there. Do you guys like that? I think it's super fun. Okay, so I have let me pull out all my parts here. Don't need these blends anymore, so I'm going to move them over out of my way. All right, here we go. So I have a piece of Pool Party. Let me pull all these pieces over. That is cut 6.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. So that leaves a front panel here that's about 2 1/4 inch wide. Okay, so this panel is 2 1/4 inch wide. So you could, you know, cut it 8.5 by 5.5, and then cut off 2 inches off the front. Basically, is what you would be doing. Okay, I have 2 pieces of crumb cake. Both cut 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Okay, 2 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to add this one to the front here. I'm just going to hold this other one out for a minute. We're going to get back to that. And then I have a piece of the designer series paper that looks like the snowflakes. It's on the back of one of those bird papers. And it's going to go right here in this panel with the crumb cake. And it's a very thin edge all the way around. Probably should have used liquid glue here. Liquid glue gives you a little more wiggle room and forgiveness. Okay, there we go, right there. The basic white is going to go ahead and go to the inside, and this is another 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel. There we go. And on this crumb cake, I'm going to add the same size piece, 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, on the 2 inch by 5 1/4 piece of crumb cake. But I'm not going to adhere it yet, because I need to put my hinged piece on the back of it. So this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. And on the 3 1/4 inch side, I scored it right here at the 1/4 inch mark. Okay, so I am going to put that hinge right on the back side of that front panel right there. Okay, so I'm just going to add some Seal Plus right there on that edge, and then I can adhere this to the inside right there. Okay, so I'm going to add this whole panel right here to the inside. Now, I just noticed that I don't think I cut the DSP panel that I need for let's see if I can find the right sheet here real quick. Snow. Here we go. It's this piece right here with the big birds, and this is actually what I cut the birds out that I'm going to be using on my card. But this panel now is 3 inches by 3 1/2, so I need a panel that is 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to go 2 3/4. I'm at the bottom edge here. By 3 1/4. There we go. And this is going to get adhered right on that hinge flap right there. Don't they really, those colors really look so good together. All right, so it's kind of hinged like that. Super cute, right? Okay, so now I have cut it's about 2 3/4 inch circle from the Spotlight on Nature dies. And I'm blending a little just to soften this up. So the top I'm going to blend with some Pool Party. There we go. And then across the bottom, I'm going to blend with a little crumb cake. There we go. This circle is going to be put on dimensionals and attached to that front hinged panel there. So we're only going to have a high of 65 today. On Saturday, it was 85 degrees here in Midland. So that's kind of how winters go here in Midland. Some days you're warm and some days you're a little cooler. And I know that you guys are laughing about 60 being a little cooler, but for us here, it is. I love the weather here. I am not a winter person, so my 33 years in Lincoln, although they were beautiful, were cold. And I told my husband, I want to go someplace warm for sure. Okay, so I'm going to die cut these birds, and this came right out of that Designer Series paper pack. And they are going to go right here. Okay, but before I put this down, I'm going to get some twine, some linen thread, and I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to do a faux bow. You guys know how I love my faux bows. And the reason I love faux bows is because they don't create a hefty knot that's hard to get things to... so I just roll it like this and then I twist, okay? And then I'm just going to adhere this. That might be a little too big. Here, let's go a little smaller here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Twist. And then I'm going to use that tearing tape to adhere it right to the corner here of my white. And then this is going to get hidden behind my bird. So you won't see this little piece of tearing tape right here if everything goes well. There we go. Okay, so now this bird is going to get popped up right here, see? And that's going to cover up so that just a hint of that little linen thread is going to be seen underneath the bird right there. Okay, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on this one. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining me. I'm almost to the end, so you might need to come back and re-watch from the beginning because I'm doing 3 cards today. This one's kind of a fun fold. And then I'll do another fancy fold tomorrow. And then a 3D project on Wednesday. This is my new platform, the new way I'm doing things. because I want to give you guys more creativity with the same bundle and suite, and more options when you get the online class to go. So it's kind of fun. All right, so here we go. This is going to get adhered right like that. How pretty is that? Isn't that pretty? All right, and I like the linen thread just a little bit showing out there. Okay, last thing is I have a piece of white, and I cut mine 1 inch wide, but I'm going to cut it down eventually. And I have this sentiment, a friend like you brings me happiness. I have a lot of friends I could give these to. And thank you, Dana. I love it. I love all the cards. I'll pull them all out here at the end and show you guys all the cards we made. So I'm stamping this right here. There we go. And then I'm going to pull out my little guillotine paper cutter, and I'm going to cut just a little bit off the top because I don't want it quite. This was 1 inch wide. I really need 3/4 inches wide, but that makes it hard to get the sentiment on there straight. So I do this pretty often. There we go. I was very proud of this card as well. Like I said, I watched a YouTube video of somebody else's. I like to watch other people's fun folds and then make them my own. So I am using a retired banner punch. This was called Pick a Banner, because I am much better using the punch to make my banner than trying to do it myself. So this is going to go right here on the bottom of this flap, and I actually glued it flat on there. Okay, so what I did so I wouldn't get it in the wrong spot is that I just put glue right underneath here where the bird is, and then I just slid this in to place right like that. And then I know I'm not getting glue where I don't want it. Okay, so pretty, isn't it? Okay, so now I need my rhinestones. And here they are. And I added a large one right down here on the banner to kind of highlight that. And then I took 3 little ones and then just kind of scattered them. Let me use my scissors. Scattered them around the circle here in spots that would just kind of highlight the beauty of the birds. Maybe put one right there. There we go. So that is my 3rd card for today. What do you guys think of these projects? I love them. And I hope that you love them too. So here is, let me straighten some things up here. All right, here is card number 3, our little gatefold fun fold card. Here is card number 2 with the gray granite. I like this one a lot too. Which one is your favorite? Tell me which one you like the most. And then this is card number 1 using, okay, let me scoot over, using the pecan pie as a base. And a little more red in that one. So what do you guys think? Card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. Tomorrow we will make another card, another fun fold card, and then on Wednesday a 3D project. So thank you for joining me today. Come back and see me in the next couple of days, and hopefully my eCam will be working again, and I'll be able to stream, and it'll be a little smoother. Transitions will be a little smoother, but you guys understand how those things can happen, right? So God bless. If you know you're going to want this class to go, including the 2 extra projects I'm going to do in the next 2 days, go ahead and put your order in to my online store. And but tomorrow I'll be able to show you the host code a little bit better. So be back here tomorrow at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays. I go on at 10 because I work at Cycle Bar at noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So God bless. Come back and see me tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I can't wait to show you my next super project to share with you. So bye-bye.